decisions already. They're very quick. Okay, so communication is very important. In fact, you know, your body language, how you carry yourself, who you are, that is your business card. Wherever you go, you're going to take you with you. So we got to learn how to communicate effectively. How many of you are committed to communicating effectively? Say aye.
Aye.
All right, so let's dive into it. Let's talk about it, okay? So communication, right? One of the biggest things I've learned is massive positive communications equals a massive paycheck. Everybody say paycheck.
Paycheck.
Right? So positive communication creates a massive paycheck. Bad news goes up, good news goes everywhere. So in this business, here's what you want to do. Never share your problems, never share your challenges with people until you overcome them. Does that make sense? You know, we live in a world where too many people Facebook their problems instead of face their problems. Okay? So in this business, when you come to the meeting, when you work with your team, leave your problems and your challenges outside. Leave them in your car. I promise they will be there when you leave. Now, if you go outside and your car is missing, you have bigger problems. That makes sense? Okay? But here's what we mean bad news goes up. A lot of times when you go through challenges, problems, and obstacles, how many of you can agree with me that it seems like the biggest thing in the world?
Yeah.
It's like the end of the world, everything is chaos. But that's why it's so important to reach out to your support system. Why? Because, you know, we've already been through it. A lot of the things you've already experienced, we've already gone through it. Not only have we already gone through it, but we know how to handle it. How many of you have ever had a problem or challenge that seems so big, you called your upline support, and when you told them about it, like you're like out of breath, you're freaking out, and they just laugh at you? Have you ever had that experience? Right? Paulo a lot, right? He's like, yes, I have that, right? Because why? Because for us, it's not a big deal. It only seems like a big deal from your perspective. Allow us to coach you, allow us to support you. How many of you ever had challenges, but when you finally asked somebody for support and they helped you, it was over that quickly?
Yeah.
Right? Huge, right? So good news goes everywhere, and that's what you want to do. Positive information, positive news, you want to share that with everybody. Share it with your downline, sideline, upline. Okay? Share it with everybody. And, you know, this will help you build a massive organization. Okay? So let's talk about it. Lighthouse University. How many of you ever played the telephone game?
Yeah.
Right? Where, you know, you start right here, you tell someone something, I tell, you know, Jason, hey, you know, bird in the hand, Paris in the spring, right, whatever. And by the time he goes to Emil says, you know, something like dinosaur, unicorn, rainbow cage, you know, whatever, right? Because why? Because the moment you keep trying to tell somebody something, you're sharing them a watered down version of what you heard. Anybody ever try to do a Xerox copy of a Xerox copy before?
Oh, yeah.
What happens?
Blurry.
It's blurry and blurry, lighter and lighter, and the quality of it distorts, right? So the reason why Lighthouse University is so important is you want to become a person that's system dependent rather than people dependent. So imagine as you build a team, you get them here to Jeunesse University, Lighthouse University. Guess what happens? They all get 100% information directly from the source. Is that pretty valuable?
Yes.
Can you imagine trying to explain everything that you saw here tonight, explaining the art of communication to someone that wasn't here? Then what happens? You know, 100%, 50%, 75%, and all of a sudden people start saying things that are super weird, right? You know, someone goes, I heard you know, Jose say that, and Jose's like, I never said that, right? So it gets kind of crazy. So let's talk about it. One of the biggest things that we can all learn is that the quality of my life in business is dependent on the quality of my communication.
Yes.
Notice it says life first. Because here we honestly believe we want to teach you how to become better people. To be the best version of yourselves, not to become great business people. Why? Because one of the things that we learn, and I'm pretty sure Bryce can tell you about this, I've seen a lot in Jose, we've seen a lot of people make a lot of money, and it was actually worse for them. Why? Because, you know, money actually makes you more of who you already are. So can you imagine if you're, you know, someone that has challenges and demons and you make more money, what do you think is going to happen?
More demons.
More demons, right? Different devils on different levels. So for us, what do we want to do? We want to support you in becoming the best version of yourself, someone that takes full responsibility of their life instead of being a victim. Wouldn't that be pretty cool?
Yeah.
And imagine living your life from that perspective, right? Not just that, but nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning I give it. Here's how life works, perspective. There's no such thing as truth. We think it's truth, we just made it up. Like, for example, if I were to ask you, hey, what color is this box? What color is this right here?
Red.
Red. Is it really red? Well, what if growing up my mom taught me this color was green? Would my mom be wrong? You might say, well, hey, you know what's red? Okay, well, let me ask you a question. If I was blind, describe the color red to me.
Sexy.
You can't. Somewhere down the line, someone just made up that this from now on will be called red. That's all it is. So how does things work? Perspective 101. Something happens. Okay? Something happens. We call it what happens, right? Something happens. The second thing is what? It means absolutely nothing. The third step, what do? We attach a meaning to it. And the fourth step, that meaning becomes our reality. And we see this all the time. Someone goes through a breakup, right? Their girlfriend breaks up with them, and what happens? That's what happened. And then what do they make about it? I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, my life sucks, this is horrible, I'm not good enough. And guess what happens? They make up that communication with themselves, and that's how they live their life, fighting to make that right. And they continue to look for examples of why they're not good enough. How many know people like that? Mm-hmm. Right? Yep. Some of you will raise your hands reluctantly. But on the other end, right? So that's one way to look at a breakup. Hey, you know what? I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. This sucks. What I do wrong. What's another way that we can look at the same situation that might be empowering versus disempowering? What's another way?
Made room for somebody better.
Made room for someone better. Is that empowering or disempowering? Empowering. Is that a lot better than I'm not good enough?
Yes.
Okay, what else can we make up about it?
I know better now.
I know better now. And it's a learning experience.
I have more time to do the things I love to do.
You have more time to do things you want to do. So think about it. In life, we attach the meaning to everything that happens. So what does that mean? You bring it out a guest and they don't get started? Yeah, we can make up, oh man, Jeunesse doesn't work. We can make up, oh man, I'm not a good enough leader. Or what can we make up? That hey, maybe they're not the right person, now they're making room for the right people to join. Because if you're going to have people quit, you're going to have people lag on you, people that you have to pull and drag. How many of you would rather have them quit early than quit later?
Early.
So we have that opportunity to make up communication. Guess what? That doesn't just apply to our business, that applies to all areas of our lives, and we can use it however we want. Okay, which is pretty cool. Okay? So, what did you say, right? Well, guess what? Words represent 7% of what actually influences human behaviors. Right? Only 7% of communication is words. Right? Voice qualities represents 38% of what influences another human being. In other words, how you use your voice will affect someone more than what you say. Give you an example. What if I went up to Andy Chow and I was like, I love you! Stop. He's probably going to be a little freaked out, would you agree? Yeah.
Oh yes, oh yes.
But what if I went up to Jason and I was like, dude, I freaking hate you, bro. How many of you can agree it's not what you say, it's how you say it?
Yes.
We'll take it a step further. It's not what you say, it's who you're being when you say it.
Ooh.
Okay? So physiology represents 55%. The way you use your body represents the majority. You guys like that? Yeah. Right?
No.
It's not, everybody except for Andy. You see that? I told him I loved him. He didn't like it, right? Let's go basic. Anyway, just kidding. Right? So what does that mean? It's important for us to watch our language. So when you're going out there and you're showing people the business, there's certain words that you want to stay away from because they create certain images and they already have certain meanings to it. Right? We call them turn-off words. Unfortunately, when people hear certain things, it creates certain triggers, right? Then there's also the perfect language, so we're going to share that with you. So for example, meeting, seminar, presentation. Now, when you're in school, are meetings good or is meetings fun or they suck?
They suck.
When your boss calls a meeting at work,
Oh.
is that fun or does it suck?
It sucks for me.
Right? Now, I know for people that have been in this industry, when you hear the word seminar, it's pretty exciting because you know the benefits and stuff like that. But for people that haven't been in this industry, when they hear the word seminar, do you think they're pretty excited about it?
No.
You think some boring speaker, right? Some, whatever, right? Bueller, right? Presentation, whatever it is, right? Those are some of the turn-off words that people don't really look forward to. They don't want to hear. So, another way to say it is sit down with. Okay, I'll show you how this all ties down. Okay. Now again, let's take a look. What is everybody doing right now? Sitting down. So you're all sitting down with me. You see how that works? Pretty cool, right? Right? Then we start using words like upline and downline. Let me share something with you, ladies and gentlemen. People outside of this industry have no idea what that means. They're like, I want you to sit down with my upline. What the heck is that? Right? Instead, say, I want you to sit down with my team. I want you to sit down with my business partner. How many of you can agree those words hold more weight than upline, downline?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay? Joined. That just sounds painful. Right? It's like when you think join, I don't know about you, but for me, I think when someone says, I just joined something, it sounds like a cult. I'm gonna be honest, that's what I think, right? Or when I hear join, I think of conjoint twins. Like you're stuck to somebody, right? Instead, we say started working with. Right? Started working with. Instead of opportunity, that word gets, I mean, is Jeunesse a great opportunity?
Yeah.
But that word gets thrown around so much that when people hear it, they automatically think, oh, here comes a pitch, here comes something else, whatever it is. But how many of you can agree that all our friends can understand we all got lucky? You know, how many of you ever had something good happen to your friends and you're like, why them? How did that happen to them? Right? So just say, I got lucky. Right? Can we all agree that we're lucky to find an opportunity like Jeunesse? Absolutely, right? I will meet you there. If you say that to your guests, you meet your guests at the events, guess what's going to happen? 50-50, they're going to show up. But if you go out there and you say, I will come and pick you up, I've never seen a guest jump out of a car before. So where are we going? To a meeting presentation? No! And they jump out of the car. Never seen it happen. Okay? Tomorrow is the word of the broke.
Yes.
Okay, tomorrow, instead replace that with today. Why? Even if they can't meet with you today, you're creating that urgency so they know how important it is to meet. So how does this all tie together? This is actually a pretty simple way of inviting somebody. If I'm calling Jay, I'm like, hey Jay, ring ring.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up Jay? Do you have a moment?
Yeah, I got a few minutes.
Awesome. Look, I'm kind of in a hurry right now, but the reason why I'm calling you is, you know, I want you to sit down with one of my business partners that I started working with. I just got incredibly lucky to be working with him because he's so successful. I really want you to meet him. I'll even come to pick you up. Can we meet today?
Oh my goodness.
It's simple, right? It's simple. You don't have to make things complicated. Everybody say, be normal.
Be normal.
All of a sudden, you join network marketing, you start talking to your friends weird, right? Like, if Kippy's my friend, you know, I'm going to call him Kippy. You know, I'm not going to all of a sudden invite him, Mr. Chris Ibiya, how are you doing this evening? Be normal, okay? So watch your language, right? Some of the basic stuff. There's 2 books that I'm going to suggest you read. One of the things I've learned is all leaders are readers.
Yes.
Everything you need to say or do to become successful, someone's already done it, someone's already said it. All you have to do is find the people that have done what you that have what you want, do what they do, say what they say, you're gonna have what they want. Is that a pretty simple formula?
Yeah.
So two great books to read. One is How to Read a Person Like a Book, and number 2 is How to Make People Like You. Right? How many of you want people to like you?
I think so.
I've come to, some of you are like really honest, like please teach me. My dad never taught me these things. Right? Another good book is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yep.
Okay? Really important book.
Good book.
Some of you have read the wrong book. How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. Read a different book, okay? So we're gonna go over a couple of things, give you some of the tips that you can get from this book. And the reason why is, guess what? Success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person that you become. It's by the person that you are. So be an attractive person. Now you're like, does that mean I have to be good looking? Well, we have products that will help you with that. Does that but let's talk about it. Okay? So how to make people like you. Guys, if you're single, take notes. This will help you, okay? Alright, let's make sure someone's taking notes right now. So 7 steps. 7 key proven steps to get people to like you. Right? If you're ready, say I'm ready.
Ready.
Okay, step 1. Compliment people. Right? Give
Whoa.
sincere forms of flattery. Give genuine, authentic compliments. Okay? The easiest and quickest way to get someone to like you almost instantly is by complimenting them. I'm sure we have all experienced that. Even the smallest compliments can make our day. How many of you had someone compliment you before? How does it make you feel? It
Good.
makes you feel amazing, right? Compliment them on what they're wearing or something they've done. This works because naturally it's hard to dislike someone who's genuinely saying nice things about you. Can you imagine, like, Jason comes up to me and goes, man, I love that suit. It looks really good on you. I'm like, man, I freaking hate that Jason guy. It's not going to happen. So naturally compliment people. And in fact, one of the biggest lessons, the biggest things I've learned is that everybody is out there wants to be wanted, needed, and important.
Yeah.
And if you can go out there and every single person you meet, whether they're in the business or not, you leave them feeling wanted, needed, and important, guess what? You're making people better than when they met you. Can you imagine if we all made that a goal of ours? That every single person that comes in contact with our life, whether it's for a second, a minute, an hour, or a day, or a lifetime, that they can honestly say that they're better than before they met us. See, a lot of people want to learn how to be charismatic, but charisma is something that can be taught. You see, all charisma is that when people are around you, if they feel a sense of accomplishment, they feel the sense of confidence, they just feel the special aura around you where they feel better, they feel safe and secure just by being in your presence. That's charisma. And how do you do that? By naturally becoming good at looking at the good in people. That's it. Okay? How many of you can do that?
Yes.
Step 2, here's the amazing one, smile. Did you know by simply smiling, you become 40% more attractive? One of the things I've learned is that a smile is one of the best tools you have in your arsenal. Right? Most people, if you notice, when you walk around in the world, are they smiling?
No.
No, most people don't have a smile, so loan them yours. I know, some of us might have forgotten how to smile. We have advanced training for that. We have leadership meetings, but just to give you a little hint, okay? I know this is a little bit advanced, and I'm going to go over it really quickly, but if you don't get it, we have advanced training. So here's how you smile. Ready? You drop the middle, right, and you lift the sides. See, great job, right? So smile. Now, some of you that haven't smiled in a long time, just smile in the mirror and practice before you go out in the wild. Step 3, we all know that one person that starts smiling. We're like, okay, this is kind of weird. We need to help this guy. Our girl. Okay? Step 3, right? Eye contact and body language. Eye contact and body language. This is important to show that you are polite and respectful. Naturally, guess what? We've been taught subconsciously that when you look at people, they look away every time you look at them. They're either insecure, they're shy, or they're lying to you. That's been pre-programmed in our mind. One of the coolest shows I've ever watched was a show called Lie to Me. If it's available on Netflix. It's such a great show. Now, I'm also going to tell you that not all those things are 100% true all the time. People get really weird, they learn this stuff, and they start reading people. Like, oh, he's negative. What if he's just cold? That's possible, okay? So don't overdo it. These are just guidelines, okay? So make sure you make eye contact with the person you're speaking to and keep your body language open. Keep your body language open. One of the easiest ways to have strong body language, right, is just stand tall, shoulders back. My mentor, Cliff Braun, who a lot of you are going to get a chance to hear from, he's coming back from Colombia after his tour in the next 30 days. Okay? He said, be the person that strives to have the best posture in the room. Everybody, right? I was talking to Brian back there, and we're just talking about posture and body language, I believe on Monday. And we're talking about the Alexander method. And one of the easiest ways to fix your body posture is imagine there's a string on your head and someone's pulling that string. Okay, just stand like that. Anthony Robbins talks about it. Physiology is very important. Here's what's crazy. It's not what you say. It's not what you do. Because we're human beings, not human doers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
A lot of times we focus on more of the doing than being, and we wonder why things don't work out. Here's what I mean. We're all going to invite people to see the business, yes?
Yes.
We're all going to present people the business, right?
Yes.
I mean, what we say is not going to differ that much. We're all going to launch people in the business, yes?
Yes.
So we're all going to do the same things, but if we're all doing the same things, how come people have different results? It's not what they do, it's who they're being. Think about it. Someone that's making 7 figures a year, how do they show up differently than someone who just got started? Confident, right? Posture. Passionate, certainty, true or not true?
True.
All those qualities. Do you think what do you think comes first? Those qualities or the money?
Qualities.
The qualities. So here's why I know some people are like, well, Julian, you don't understand what's going on in my life. I just don't have the confidence. I don't have the belief. I just don't know. And I go, okay, I know you don't have the confidence. I know you don't have the belief. But if you did, how would you be sitting right now? Let's all imagine we're all making 7 figures a year. We're all making $1 million a year. Okay, every single person right now is making $1 million in Jeunesse. How would you be sitting in your seat right now? It doesn't have to be the same, but how would you be sitting? How would you be paying attention to the training? What would your breathing look like? What would your posture be like? How many of you who all of a sudden feel a little bit different? Yeah, that's how easy it is to make that shift in being. All of a sudden, guess what? When you present, you're going to come across differently. It's not what you say, it's how you say, it's how you feel about what you say. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So guess what? If you're an executive trying to hit Jade, you're gonna get the results of an executive trying to hit Jade. But if you already work and operate like a Jade with a mindset of a Jade, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna become a Jade. The same way it works. That's how you get a quantum leap in your business. How many of you want a quantum leap versus an incremental leap? You know what the difference is? Here's how incremental works. I actually don't believe in the bear cycle. We hear a lot about bear, but I don't believe in it. I mean, it works, but here's the difference. Bear is like, okay, you have belief. Depending on your belief, you get a certain amount of excitement, then you take action, you get results, right? Then you get results, what happens? Your belief gets bigger. Then you get a little bit more excited, you take action. It works, it's incremental. But what if you can just skip all of that and just go straight to the belief and the confidence of someone that's already there? What do you think would happen to your enthusiasm? What do you think would happen to your action? What would happen to your results? So the difference is, the secret to getting there is recognizing you're already there. I know that sounds kind of crazy. We can talk about it later, but think about it. That, once you get it, will make the biggest difference in your business. Because every major accomplishment has been done twice. First in the mind and then in reality. So if you can go there in the mind, you can go there in the body. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but hey, that's the people that are making it. You see, you know, you have someone like Chaz and Liz who shared their secret. They said all we did was make a decision. Once they made a decision that they believed they could do it, then it became easy. That's where it happens. Once you make a decision, everything is easy, but it's how quickly can you make a decision that you're worth it, that you're good enough, and you can make it happen. How many of you leaving today because of Chaz and Liz are more inspired, have more belief, and you know that you can do this more than ever? Give them another round of applause. Step 4 out of 7. Ask questions. Right? One of my favorite movies is the 40-year-old version. Have you ever seen this?